ABC Insurance Company Limited, where you get more coverage for less.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is just 4 minutes past the hour of 11, and you're listening to 1FM 98.9. Today is Saturday, July 31st, 2021. It is the last Saturday in the month. It's the last day in the month as well, and we are getting ready to enter a new month. Good morning, and thanks so much for tuning into 1FM 98.9 for another edition of Inside the News from 11 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. today. I'm your host, Devon Cornelius. Today we will be looking at some very interesting developments that took place throughout the week here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and of course across the Caribbean region, and a lot of things that, well, some things actually that made the headlines, and that what I believe on the mouths and minds of the people here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and what our people have been talking about. You know, it's always good to, go throughout the communities just to hear what is in the minds of our people and what they're talking about, what issues they focusing on, and what issues are affecting them. And so today we will be taking a look at the most recent, what should I call this? I can't really find a name for this, but the most recent issue with the Hush Puppies scandal, where allegations were brought against officials. Well, not any specific officials, but Hush Puppy is claiming that he bribed a government official in St. Kitts to get a passport. That is what he's claiming, and he actually confessed that in a plea deal in the United States. And so immediately following that revelation by Hush Puppy, it sparked a lot of social media debate and a lot of hype on the internet and throughout the communities here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Because as you know, we heard about this sometime last year. Actually, we heard about this around this time last year. And of course, it was hot for a moment. And then after a while, it went down, it died down, and you didn't really hear much about it. No, it's back. It's back, and it's spreading like wildfire because it is on. I've seen it on international news stations, news channels, and it's very much, what should I say, over all over the globe as it is now. So Hush Puppy is claiming that he bribed an official here to get a passport, and it was later realized that he actually faked a marriage certificate. He actually faked a marriage certificate. And so this is what we will lead out with this morning on today's edition of Inside the News. Let's say a quick thank you to the sponsors, and when we come back, we're going to start this discussion. Let's take this break. We'll be right back.
Shopping with TDC just got much easier. Here's how. Log on to shoptdcgroup.com. Shop at your convenience at any time, from anywhere, with your smartphone, tablet, or computer. With our safe and secure payment checkout, you choose the option to pick up in-store or have your goods delivered right to your door. It's that easy. Shop tdcgroup.com, your one-stop online store.
Shop anywhere, shop anytime, same quality you love. Now online. Shop
www.shoptdcgroup.com.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects or sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
People make the world go
Welcome back to Inside the News on WinFM 98.9. Good morning, and thank you guys so much for joining us today. I am your host, Devon Cornelius. And so I was saying, this has sparked much public debate here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and of course across the globe. This Hush Puppy scandal where he is an international fraudster, it seems. The UK Guardian newspaper reported that the Department of Justice, in a statement, said Hush Puppy and other conspirators defrauded a Qatari business person by claiming to be consultants and bankers who could facilitate a loan to finance the construction of a school for a reportedly 1.1 million US dollars. The Department of Justice said the Hush Puppy used proceeds from the fraud to acquire citizenship in St. Kitts and Nevis. Now, according to the indictment document, Hush Puppy used approximately $230,000 of the stolen funds to purchase a watch. This is probably a high-quality watch. It's a Richard Mille. I don't know if that's a Richard Mille or a Richard Mille, but it's actually Richard Mille RM1103 watch, which was hand-delivered to him in Dubai and subsequently appeared in his social media posts. Other illicit proceeds from the scheme were allegedly converted into cashier's checks, including $50,000 in checks that were used by Abbas as his legal or government last name, and the co-conspirator to obtain a passport by creating a false marriage certificate and reportedly bribing a government official. That sparked a lot of social media debate, and everybody wanted, everybody is calling for investigations to open into this matter, as this is a serious allegation where this man is claiming that he bribed someone, a top government official here in St. Kitts, to get the passport. So it has been framed as an allegation. It has been framed as an allegation. Now, at the Premier's press conference on July 29th, as you know, the Premier also serves as the Minister of Foreign Affairs. And so I took the opportunity to pose the question, and the Foreign Affairs Minister, he rejected the allegations that claimed that a top government official was bribed. And he said that based on the little he has seen the public domain, there is absolutely no allegations being made against any service provider or government official in St. Kitts and Nevis. And so those claims, the claim that Hush Puppy provided or bribed, rather, a government official, according to Brantley, they're false. According to Mr. Brantley, they are false. And so over the next coming few days, I suspect that we're going to hear more about this as the story develops. It has been developing for the past year, and many people have been talking about it, but we're going to see what is going to be, we're going to see what is going to happen. Now, I want to hear what is on the mind of the people here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and so we're going to say a quick shout out to the sponsors again. And when we come back, the phone lines will be open. And I'm going to be taking some calls to get your view or opinions on this very, sensitive matter. Let's take this short break, and we are coming right back.
TDC Automotive is paying for you. Deposit? We're paying. 3-month installments? We're paying. Pay nothing for 3 months because we are paying. Take a moment, catch your breath, and roll out with ease. Save over $20,000 off your new Toyota Hiace because TDC Automotive is paying. Get your Toyota Hiace today. TDC Automotive, #1 for a reason. Terms and conditions apply.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
People make the world go
Welcome back to Inside the News on 1FM at 98.9. It's 11:17, and we are going to open up the phone lines to take some calls from you members of the public. The numbers to call are 466-0989, 762, and 662. We are also live on Facebook and YouTube, so you can also leave your comments there, and we would get to them in due course. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this edition of Inside the News. We are going to entertain a very interesting conversation, very interesting topic that some have shied away from. Some have decided to open it up and explore it, and we're going to see how far we can explore this topic today, which has sparked much public debate and concern and speculation. And so we want to hear from you, the members of the public. We want to hear from you, what is that you have to say, what is on your mind, and we want to see where we can go today. This is not just in local media, but this is in regional media, international media, and it's crazy, We have our first call for this morning, so let's take this caller. Caller, good morning. You are live on Voices.
Good morning, Devon.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm giving God thanks, man. God brought us to July, rough July. And he's taking us into another new month. Now, let us examine this case. Now, he claimed to have been married in Nigeria, right?
Yes.
That is where he would have gotten the fake marriage certificate, isn't that so?
Right.
Because he didn't come to St. to get it, so he could not have presented a petition, whether fake or real one. Now, I am married to a foreigner, my son and my daughter. Anybody who is married to a foreigner, they are entitled, the spouse is entitled to citizenship. Isn't that so?
Yes.
They do not have to go through the citizenship by investment program. Isn't that so?
Yes.
Because people getting this thing mixed up. Now, what I think should happen is that the investigation should also involve the lady, the petition.
Mm-hmm.
Because if she went along with it, then both of them committed fraud.
Right.
Because if they got together and plan and announce, because it was announced that he married to a petition,
Mm-hmm.
we would want to know from her, is she really married to him, or was it a setup? That's one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the rest of it, you ask questions. If he's entitled, why would he have to pay somebody $50,000 to get a passport that he's entitled to?
Mm-hmm.
I know some people making all kind of things, and why he wasn't this and why he wasn't that. The investigation should start in Nigeria. But some people, political opportunists, before they begin to examine the thing carefully, if he presented false documents, his citizenship can be cancelled. You know that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It can be cancelled. Because he now admitted that he admitted a false marriage certificate. And then turn around and use that same document. And then for whatever reason, trying to pull in other people. What he's doing is putting a stain on our country name,
Mm-hmm. But let me add something here quickly. In last year, when this situation came up, the government announced in a statement that the Nigerian did not obtain his citizenship through the investment program, but by virtue
because if he's married, as I said, once you're married to a citizen, we don't go that route.
Hold on.
So why people
by virtue of marriage, caller, hold on. By virtue of marriage to Nikisha Chapman. And so what this is saying is that he got citizenship through marriage to somebody who is from St. Kitts. So it says here, I'm continuing, we note that the Nigerian was granted a St. Kitts and Nevis passport in February 2020 by virtue of his marriage to Chapman, a citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis by birth. And I think also the USA. Yes, in 2018. So what this is saying, okay, they said Ms. Chapman married Hush Puppy in October 2018, granting him access to the asylum, and is also a resident of the USA, and revealed that the CBI includes rigorous background checks. So my question is, where is this $50,000 payment allegation coming from?
Because that's the question. Is there any truth to that allegation?
That's what he said.
Now, we're using logic, eh? If he did not have to go that route, why would he do it? Why would he say he did it? You see what we're dealing with?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have to go that route, you pay somebody to... So what kind of passport did you get? Now, I say, when was the fraud committed?
For the marriage or the...
No, for the raising of the money for the school in Nigeria.
Oh, well, there was not a specific date, but this was probably back in 2018. I'm going to have to...
That is important. Eh? Now, if he committed the fraud before, then there was lax in investigating him, because in truth, it's supposed to happen.
Let me show you something. This is my take on it, right? So, there's not a specific date. I can't find the date at this time, but he got the monies, the fraud before. Then
before 2018.
Before the marriage.
For the marriage.
So he got the money, he did the fraud, then he got the fake marriage certificate, which then granted him.
Yeah, which he presented to our government.
Right, then granted him
a passport.
Citizenship to St. Kitts and Nevis. So essentially, it is somewhat linked, because if he did not commit the fraud, and if he did not do the fake marriage certificate, it probably would not have led to him getting a St. Kitts and Nevis passport. So probably all of that was in the whole plan. That is why when you said perhaps the lady should be investigated as well, I support that move.
Yeah, because I mean,
and so essentially,
what is she who helped him to get it?
Right.
And if she engaged in that fraud, because it's amount of fraud, you know. If she engaged in that activity. By the way, I think we have an ambassador or a consul in Nigeria, you know. You know that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right. Maybe the matter should be addressed there to find out, was he really married, or is he just saying these things?
But
if he was not married, then the woman herself should also be investigated.
But my question, right? According to this, they're saying that he forged the marriage certificate. It's a fake marriage certificate, right?
No, in Nigeria.
The government did say that we do rigorous background checks. Now, if that is the case, that background check was not done properly, because then you would have realized.
If that is so, I would agree with you with that. But the payment of that large sum of money to get his passport doesn't add up.
So don't you think that an investigation should be launched? Because remember, he's claiming that he bribed somebody down here, you know.
No, he says so, you know. But
yeah, he says so. So I'm not saying because he says so. It's true, you know. I'm just saying that credit.
Yeah, but the sequence of events does not lead to that conclusion. If you're entitled to something, you don't got to pay for it. You have the processing fees, and so maybe you should find out how much does it cost. I know.
Right, but you're missing the point,
No, me missing the point.
Yeah, you're missing the point.
You are assuming that somebody in the federation received the money. That's your basic assumption.
No.
It's not logical.
No. I'm not making an assumption. I'm saying what he said. He's saying that he paid somebody down here. He bribed somebody down here. So I'm saying
He bribed somebody down here to do what?
Hold on. He's saying that he bribed somebody down here. So my thing is, I'm not saying that because he said it is true, because it could very well be that he's just making up something false. It could probably well be that he bribed somebody for them to say that the marriage certificate was real when they know in fact that it was fake. So I'm saying an investigation should be launched. Not because he said it, but for us to find out the truth.
Serious accusation is a different story, Because I have heard other persons claiming that it happened. So if it happened, they must know who did it.
Mm-hmm. Right. We want to take some other callers at this time.
Yes, somebody's calling.
So let's wrap it up. We're gonna take some more calls before we take another break. Numbers to call are 466-0989-762 and 662. What I'm saying is that this man is claiming that he bribed somebody in St. Kitts. No, the foreign affairs minister has said that there is no allegation being brought against anybody down here. But the man is saying that he bribed somebody in St. Kitts. And so it could be that he bribed somebody for them to say that his marriage certificate was real. And so investigations should be launched. Investigations should be launched into the person who he married, because then you don't want to know if this is something that they may have agreed to. And so, there's a lot of loopholes in this thing, because we're saying that we do rigorous background checks. If the background check was rigorous enough, you probably would have realized that the marriage certificate was fake. And so that is a clear indication that the background check was poorly done on our part, because it is now realized that the marriage certificate was fake. And so it could be a case where that was all a part of the plan. It's 11:30. We'll take this break to say thank you to the sponsors for this program, and when we come back, we're going to continue the conversation. Let's take this short break, and we will be right back.
Know that you've captured those special moments. Turn them into lasting memories at the TDC Business Center. Purchase your photo print bundle and get a chance to win a Canon MG3010 printer. Click and print. Visit TDC Business Center today.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
People make the world go
Welcome back to Inside the News, 1FM 98.9. We are still taking your calls here. The numbers to call 466-0989-762 and 662. We have a caller on the line. Let's take this call. Caller, good morning. You are live on Voices. Inside the News, sorry.
Good morning, youngster. I realize you are very brilliant. You see, some people calling in to defend. You know, you just said a while ago, our security system to get the passport, our government spend millions on making sure that any and everybody cannot get the passport. That's not what they tell us, sir? Hello?
Hello, yeah, I'm listening. Hello, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I'm just saying, didn't that what our great government tell us? When they got into power, they changed everything what was there before. They spend millions on a man to make sure our passport system is safe. And you watch me and tell me today that we're trying to defend that the man married. Well, last year, big man, the government came to the nation, including Mark Brantley and all of them, that the man got the passport by marriage. Well, if he got it by marriage, don't you think the government need to investigate who he be? He ain't think it as Sylvie making a strong point. He overseas. So if he's overseas, he must be scrutinized. Make man remember last year during the lockdown, a plane came in here with stuff for election, for unity. Who sent that plane here? These are the questions we need to start to ask, brother. A year later, I listened to a CNN reporter saying he get his passport fraudulently. And Mark Brantley going to tell the young reporter these lot of stupidness. I wonder if we understand. But you could recall, youngster, 6 years ago, we was talking about Magadam. And Magadam have not case has not come forward yet. I don't know if it's free pay money or what, I don't know. But up until today, the government in for 6 years, and they cannot bring nothing to show me that these are the evidence where Magadam pay $1 million or where the money went. Up until today, they cannot show me that Magadam is locked up in Canada. But Mark Brantley and all of them went into Parliament and was talking about the same Magadam. You see how life be, my brother? It's not everybody stupid, sir. And that's the problem with that lady. Douglas get a passport from Dominica, my brother. He did not thief the passport. It was given to him. And yes, we wrangle. We spend hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to bring down Douglas on a passport where he did not thief. But today we have a man with St. Kitts and Nevis name called on CNN. This ain't a foolishness where they could come and say, oh, you're propaganda and this. The reporter was speaking on CNN. So what does this link do this man have to this country? What his investment is in this country? So we're only watching the passport. What other stuff has he give to this country? Did he give us campaign fund? What else? Who all involved? She's talking about investigation. Who's going to investigate here? Because we could remember we had Patches Liebert who breached international security rules. And up until today, Mark Brantley said to Weber on a program, he sent the thing into when they got a meeting, the cabinet meeting, and up to now nothing come out of it. So who is going to investigate who when all of them in the same boat? Look at what happened to Lindsey Grant and John L. Powell with the misappropriate to the man money. Man, the corruption is wide and deep. And don't tell me about Douglas because you're in power at the moment. So you have all what you got to do to deal with Douglas' situation. But this thing right now here is out of hand. For the past 6 years, my brother, it's a shame to see our country dragging through the mud. We got a situation in England still to deal with. Now this passport, and instead of Mark Brantley, give the reporter something sensible to tell him. Look at the disrespect. Look at the disrespect of the Foreign Affairs, Mark Brantley. But he was quick to come down in Parliament to talk about Magadam. Brother, have a lovely day here.
Right. Thank you, caller, for your contribution. We are still taking calls here on WinFM 98.9. You're listening to Inside the News. It is 11:37. The numbers to call are 466-0989-762 and 662. The matter of the Hush Puppy scandal where he is claiming that he may have bribed someone here in St. Kitts, and international reports suggest that he fraudulently obtained a St. Kitts Nevis passport. All of that is in the air. We're taking your calls here. Do we have any callers on the line? We have a caller on the line. Let's take this call. Caller, good morning. You're live on Voices.
It's quite interesting. It's just a claim and it's an allegation, and the investigation will prove otherwise or whatever it is the case may be. However, having said that, my interest though is St. Kitts, the people of St. Kitts. How are they striving? How are they benefiting? How are they elevating? And how are they achieving in this island that belongs to them? I don't know if you ever drive around the island and notice some constructions that are going on, and who are doing the building? Non-Kittitian. If something is being built for the Kittitian, most of the time it's someone who probably is in a top position, and that person probably maybe doing a building for himself, but could be somebody from Guyana, Trinidad, Tobago, whatever it is, at Jamaica. It appears to me like Kittitian need to be taught money management. Lots of businesses are being opened, and the things that we are looking at are the small things. There are top positions in government, but lots of the top positions in government are held by non-Kittitian. They maybe receive a Kittitian passport now, but before they were non-Kittitian. Yet we boast about how many people we send out to study and return to work, but return to do what? When we have people up to 75 years and 70 years still sitting in an office. There could be people who activated and who are active in party politics and so on, yes, but other people have the same vote like them. They have one vote just like everybody else. And so somebody else should actually take that share. And they could advise the government, but they should not have what you call a full-time job, in my opinion. At the same time, when you drive a 4th Street, you see brand new stores open, non-Kittitian. Sometimes I wonder, what is it that we're looking for and what is it that we want? We want a job. We want to cut grass by the side of the road. We need to elevate some more. We need to tip up. And we need to take hold of this country and move forward. But we need to do it systematically. And we need to do it now. Because you see, the thing is that those people who hold some position think that it belongs to them and nobody else should have it. And they think that they're supposed to be in a prominent position and the achievers of certain things are, and nobody else should have it. So why not let us see how much we could educate our youth to do what you call money management, control your expenditure to achieve certain goals that you would like to. As the lady said at the Social Security the other day, make sure you contribute to the Social Security. But if your funds are so small, you think that you would not be able to contribute anything. And there shouldn't be only a government job. There should be something creative enough to create a job for yourself. I remember when Dr. Simmons went in office, one of the things that he did was open, you had lots of small businesses floating around the country. And that was one of his great achievements. Now all the small businesses that are owned by Kittitian have dwindled. Chinese, Indians, everybody else, but Kittitian own nothing. We just buy from everybody. I am worried. I think that we need to make a change, and the change should be to educate our people to move forward, to achieve, own, and control our destiny. Thank you very much for your time.
And thank you, caller, so much for your contribution. We'll take some more calls at this time. The numbers to call are 466-0989-762-0989 and 662-0989. You're listening to Inside the News on WinFM 98.9. We have a caller on the line. We'll take this call. Caller, good morning. You are live on Inside the News.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. You're live.
Yeah, I don't know when Mr. Henry had these things. Is she trying to to hide and hide is out there in the ear. It's none to hide. I don't get at about to 3 times on my phone. Huh? I don't know what is the hiding it's about. It was good with Magadam. No. What happened to know? Magadam with the man name. You're telling her, you're trying to get to her, to explain to her what, she's cutting across you. I believe she's supposed to get a break, As the lady fella the gentleman before me just say a mouthful, and it's true, When you look around, all you see the strangers open up upon it, them got money, where my money gone? When you say you're opening up and you look, the price and the cost of the rent so high that like we can't make it anymore. Huh? And it's a shame. And these people that come opening up in front of us, like bam in your face, take that, go with that. And we got to be going to buy from them for sure. And it's not free and courteous again, so whoever was good, whoever was also good too. I don't know what happened to Miss Thing. She must be stop hide. Ain't nothing to hide, anything out in the ear. Mr. Cornelius said is anything to pull back, he gone in the ear. You got to look up what you got fly. Right and say me like a balloon. And he go in, you carry it home for your son or your daughter. But it's gone out your hand, what you could do is just go back and buy another one. And remember the must we hear the things, and when we hear them, whoever happen to come out and give us an explanation about it. You have a good Saturday. I don't want to finish that. We're here, no, jumping out.
Right, you have a wonderful Saturday yourself as well. We're still taking calls here on 1FM 98.9. Thank you for your contribution. If you are in the UK and you'd want to call, the number is 033 344 0065. If you are in the USA, the number to call is 718-285-6984. That is 718-285-6984. For those of you in Canada, the number is 305-921-4619. That is 305-921-4619. We have a caller on the line. Let's take this call. Caller, good morning. You are on the air.
Good day again, sir. Mr. Cornelius, do me a favor when you finish work. Take a walk up 4th Street, starting from by where Walls used to be. To the top of 4th Street, go up on the other side of where the gas station is. And tell me how much brand new foreign shops open. Count it. You just take a walk when you finish. From where Walls used to be, counting, go right up till you reach on the other side by the gas station and tell me how much new people in this federation open up shop within the past 6 years. And this is the thing we're talking about, sir. Again, nobody discriminating against ageable people. Let us be real. Sidney Osborne getting pension. Michael Powell getting pension. Hodgman getting pension. The lady, they're getting pension. Patches getting pension. And they're still on the government with it. But you mustn't say nothing. We're doing wonderful in the Federation. But you have people, you have a young nurse who got bachelor degree, got this, got that. Cannot go home with $3,000, $2,000 a month time. That enough them struggling. But you mustn't say nothing, sir. Because everybody defending. Young nurses in this country who got the degree after degree and half you could think about cannot go home with $2,500 because they got them struggling because they went back to study and they're taking out their money and they're doing them all kind of stupidness. They're under all kind of pressure. Some of them got a young child, but nobody's seen these kind of things. But you're supposed to don't say nothing in this country. You're supposed to don't talk like you're angry. Because some people giving the impression that everything in this federation of sinkers and leavers is good when it's a lie. Man, we blame Douglas and we agree. And again, look, today we have a problem with the passport. I remember Bastard is full of people with the Sinkers flag, with Magadam. How can Douglas get a man with $1 million? And that was the plan. The plan worked. A year late, 6 years later, you're telling me, St. Kitts and Nevis, who Mark say he love, he Nevis to the bone. A man on CNN who never even been to Nevis, calling out St. Kitts and Nevis name with a fraudulent passport. How did he get it? Because the government lied last year because they tell us that the man married to a Kittitian. So that Sylvian don't take a look for the Kittitian. The Kittitian ain't the problem. The issue is how did they sign off on the passport officially? Because we have people here who supposed to be doing the work, the due diligence. Big man, if I marry to a killer woman and I go with the passport for the same woman to get it, you think Curtis Cook gonna get it just up? Because guess what? They're gonna scrutinize Curtis Cook name shop. But them and the man is friend. That is the truth. If I shop to get a passport for a foreign lady, my buddy, you think the government will sign off on it for me? They're going to find every means and ways to scrutinize the poor lady. But because of who the man be, don't forget to tell you what happened last year during the election. A plane land here when we was on lockdown. Who sent the plane? You have a lovely day, my brother. God don't sleep. Everything going to come out. I want the FBI on the ground already too. Have a good day.
Right, and thank you, caller, for your contribution. I would love to take up your offer, but I'm not in St. Kitts today. I'm actually hosting virtually. But that is good. It sounds as if you can hear me loud and clear. It is 11:48. We'll say a quick shout out to our sponsors, and when we come back, we have a caller. Let's take this call before we go. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning to you. Greetings in the name of Jesus Christ, the only Savior of sinners from the sinner from hell, and the second person with the eternal Trinity. Now, I've just recently been hearing something. You having more open line today?
No.
You're talking something specific?
Yes, we're talking about the hush puppy situation with the passport. Do you have something to contribute to that?
Well, okay. Well, I've said in the past, and I continue to believe. I believe in doing things the Bible way. I believe, especially when it comes to foreigners, if you're going to give them any passport, anything like that, they must, one, be a Christian, a Christian, and they must have the mark of being a Christian. I believe those are the only people who should be given passport. And if you forsake the Christian religion, if you forsake the Christian faith, it will be taken away from you.
Okay, so I have a question. If I'm from St. Kitts and Nevis and I'm not a Christian, should my passport be revoked?
That's why I said foreigner. Especially if he's a foreigner. If you're born here, that might be something different. If you're born here, but once he's a foreigner, I think at least in that case that is what should be done.
So if I call it, okay.
Yeah, I don't think money or anything like that should be good. It should be what the condition upon what foreigners are given passport because you have enough money, you make enough investment or whatever else the case. I mean, when it comes to foreigners, in order for you to get a passport, you should be a Christian and you have the mark of being a Christian. And if you reject the religion later on in life, you lose the passport. Because I think otherwise our kind of characters are going to get our passport, and that will not be good for St. Kitts.
Okay.
They're saying the first time I'm saying this.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Carla, for your contribution. We'll take the short break and we'll be right back.
Shopping with TDC just got much easier. Here's how. Log on to shoptdcgroup.com. Shop at your convenience at any time, from anywhere with your smartphone, tablet, or computer. With our safe and secure payment checkout, you choose the option to pick up in-store or have your goods delivered right to your door. It's that easy. Shop tdcgroup.com, your one-stop online store.
Shop anywhere, shop anytime, same quality you love. Now online. Shop www.tdcgroup.com. www.shoptdcgroup.com.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects or sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
People make the world go
Welcome back to Inside the News. The phone lines are still open, so we are still taking your calls. We'll try to see how much calls we can take. We'll try to take as many calls as possible before we wrap up at 12 for the headline news. We have a caller. We have a caller on the line. Let's take this call. Caller, good morning. You are on the air.
Yeah. Mr. Cornelius, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Can you tell me, right? How can one determine somebody is a sincere Christian? Can you please tell me?
I don't know the answer to that. I can't tell you.
You don't think I can do everything what it takes and go wrong? Say, I mean, okay, even now you have a lot of people who are pretending that they're Christian and they're not.
Yes.
So, what kind of mark? What kind of mark that the call is talking about? What mark?
I honestly don't know, but I don't know how do you identify a Christian, because you have so many people around here who say they're Christians and they're nothing but the devil. So I don't know. I don't know how do you identify a Christian.
Up to last week, we hearing in one of the small islands about a pastor who embezzled money, and then we hear about the one with the Pope.
Oh, yes.
I am certain. Eh?
Yes, I heard about that, but that went by quick.
How can you determine who is sincere?
Well, perhaps they would want to be.
We need people to call into these programs to educate people properly. You know, this program is a mature program, you know. We want mature discussion on this program. I mean, I am listening, and, you know, sometimes I look out to this program, you know, for guidance, you know, learn from other people. But when people going to be coming on the air and talking these things, I mean, come on. You have people in mind to know whether they're sincere? Mr. Cornelius, you have a blessed day.
Thank you, caller. You have a blessed day as well. Yeah, I mean, that is his opinion, and I respect his opinion, but I disagree with it. I mean, how do you tell if somebody is a sincere Christian? Because everybody can, I mean, all of us can act like a Christian and portray all of the, you know, all that we have to portray to say that we're Christians. So I don't know how easy it is to say that this person is a Christian, you know. I would wish the caller could come back and explain. We have a caller on the line. Let's take this call. Caller, you're on the air.
Good morning, Cornelius.
Yes, good morning, caller.
It's a long time in terms of the holidays that are coming up. And it also coincides with two events. One that all and sundry, and the majority of us, should be proud to celebrate, and another we should be also proud to celebrate, but one is somewhat a little bit somber in terms of the Christina disaster. And you as a division And I like to claim myself to be a Kitty Vision in terms of my mom ancestry here from across the Narrows. So I take that title very seriously. And so we all empathize, and for quite a while we have been agitating for a monument such as what has been installed on Pumpkin Drive, I think, and be installed on this side of the aisle, because me as a kid growing up in Newtown, I was 10 years old, but I vividly remembered a few persons, for instance, a postman and a lady that used to sell in one of those bakery, Bolton Bakery, and another young gentleman whose family still lives at Ponce Pasture. No one else I remember those three persons. And so, yes, we would coincide and we will continue. I'd like to give kudos to Mr. Skeet, who owns the Sea Hustler, who religiously does the ceremony annually, which is good. And so we need not to put those things to the back of our mind. But there are other events that we need not to put to the back of our mind. And somehow, through our charmer, we tend to justify other events. The Christian disaster in 1970 should be as relevant as any other thing within our history should be as relevant. 1970, 1870, 1770, 1670, because our minds are not limited. And so we must commemorate and hold dear to our hearts those, unfortunately, succumb to, death through other means. And so this event is, climaxing on tomorrow, starting from tomorrow, which is the real August Monday, the Tuesday and the Wednesday, or the Monday and the Tuesday, and the Tuesday. We have a lot to reflect on. I listened to the sentiment of 3 callers back, and I am not going to delve into certain things, but I have an observation. And there was another program that I weighed in on, and our leaders are to be very astute, because in my case, growing up in Newtown, I did do local initiatives that would benefit my community, because I'm not a saint by any stretch. And so, back in 2014, when I started to plant those moringa trees, as you see going up on the Frigate Bay Boulevard, which persons are occupying those spaces now. And when agriculture adopted that space, I smiled, because I said this was my way of giving back to my community. So today, as we spoke, and I spoke on your platform about the marketplace and the usefulness of when the market was built, and we urging other farmers, of course we will need space to have other persons apply their trade. So occupying those spaces is all good. You understand?
Right, Carla. So quickly wrap it up, because we're at the 12 o'clock hour, so we want to get ready for the headline news.
That, but I'm going to call back because I wanted to. Thanks for listening.
Right, so thank you, Carla, for your contribution. We're going to take this break to say thank you to our sponsors and to get the headline news, and we'll come back after the headline news. Stay tuned.
You found the sound. 98.9 Win FM.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, KDP Enterprises, The Grange, and Carib Brewery.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International. your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International. By land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
We are faced with tough decisions every day, but choosing the right home or motor insurance shouldn't be one. You need fast claim settlement from a company that's been rooted for over 31 years. And don't forget the A Excellent rating by AM Best. Make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Reliable insurance that you can count on. Get a quote today for your home, motor, contents, and liability insurance needs, and make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance. Tomorrow secured. Local agents, Dalil Walwyn & Co. Limited. Telephone 465-2631 or 469-5303 for the Nevis office.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
With the WIN headline news, I am Kevon Brown. Making the headlines, St. Kitts and Nevis weekly COVID-19 rundown. TDC launches new online store. St. Kitts Olympic Committee congratulates Amaya Clark on her Olympic campaign. Jason Rogers earns a spot in men's 100-meter semifinals. Marketplace Excellence report on events from around the region. Internationally, monsoon rains have triggered more landslides and swept away bridges and roads in northern India. At least 7 people died in a landslide. More than 200 are missing. Now, the details. For the period July 25th through 30th, the COVID-19 cases in the Federation has doubled last week's confirmed cases, with the number for the week so far standing at 29. Last week, July 18 through 24th, health authorities reported 14 confirmed cases of COVID-19. Dr. Melissa Carthy, PRO of the Health Emergency Operations Center, stated that the curve related to COVID-19 cases was flattening compared to the height of community spread in June.
We saw our highest number of cases in this current wave during the period June 6th to June 24th. Additionally, owing to the work of the contact tracing team, we are now seeing a flattening of this curve,
said Dr. Carty during the July 8th broadcast of the National Emergency Operations Center press briefing. 162 people are currently in self-quarantine due to contact tracing efforts. The total cases since the start of the pandemic creep closer to 600, with the current count standing at 593. For St. Kitts, 573, and Nevis, 20. Cases active, 46. St. Kitts and Nevis has had 3 deaths from COVID-19. On vaccination, according to Dr. Carthy, 9,320 more adults would have to take the jab for the country to reach the target of vaccinating 33,037 people with at least the first dose of AstraZeneca. Some 13,000 would still need their second dose to achieve the goal of having the adult population fully vaccinated. This week, 438 doses were administered, with 237 being first and 201 being second doses as of Friday, July 30th. About 3,200 doses of the 5,000 doses recently acquired are still in stock. That batch expires August 31st. TDC Group of Companies has launched its online store to offer what it calls a new shopping experience with over 16,000 products available on the platform. Quote, "For your convenience, TDC has created a one-stop shop where you can now purchase thousands of products with ease from your smartphone, tablet, laptop, or desktop computer anytime and from anywhere from a secure and safe platform. This year, 2020, impacted us in a way we never expected, particularly from a business standpoint. The TDC Group has since adapted and found creative ways of interacting with and meeting the needs of our many customers," said Earl Kelly, Chairman and CEO of TDC Group of Companies, in a media kit presented for the launch. Nick Menon, Executive Director with the group, said it was important for the company to start this new service with a solid foundation before expanding offerings. Quote, "ShopTDCGroup.com is a significant milestone for the TDC Group of Companies and a huge undertaking. It was a natural progression for us to embark upon this project as it aligns with our goals," Menon is quoted as saying in a press release. Like Amazon, you can register for an account on the platform to facilitate easy ordering. Orders can be expected within 2 to 4 working days with a flat rate for delivery at $25. According to the news site, there is a limited offer for free shipping going on right now. Orders over $1,000 are delivered free of charge. Large appliances and furniture are also delivered for free. Users of the site also have the option of store pickup. There is also intra-island delivery between St. Kitts and Nevis. Benefits of using the site: 24 access and the convenience to shop at all TDC retail stores. You can access the platform from your phone, tablet, or computer. You can shop from anywhere in the world and have it delivered to your friends, families, or your door. And finally, eliminate the crowd and avoid pesky lines. Stay safe and shop from the comfort of your home. The St. Kitts Olympic Committee is extending congratulations to Amaya Clark for her performance at the Tokyo Olympics.
My message to Amia is one of encouragement. The experience must have done her confidence a world of good. I look forward to see the benefits it would reap when she competes as an under-23 athlete in the November 2021 Pan Am Junior Games. And by way of a challenge, I ask her to eclipse the 11.21 seconds national record on her next outing.
Amaya's campaign at the Tokyo 2020 Games ended in the women's 100 round 1 heat 4. She completed the race in a time of 11.71 seconds. The eventual winner of the race was Taya Lu of Côte d'Ivoire, 10.78 seconds. Dee Nata of Great Britain was second, 10.96 seconds, and C. Emmanuel of Canada was third, 11.18 seconds. Kittian sprinter Jason Rogers has earned a spot in the men's 100 meters semi-finals.
Xu Bing-Chan normally makes a very quick start, and once again that is the case from the indoor specialist. Good running as well from Jason Rogers on the near side, and Layot Layla. Layot Layla takes it on the line. They were all looking at each other, chests puffed out, all at a swagger. 10.04, Layot Layla will be in the semis, and so too will Xu Bing-Chan, and an excellent run, second from the near side by Jason Rogers of St. Kitts and Nevis. Good run that.
Rogers timed 10.21 seconds to capture third place in his heat. The first of 3 semifinals start at 6:15 a.m. tomorrow, Sunday, August 1st. In regional news, Marketplace Excellence report on events from around the region.
Hi there, I'm Keyshawn Haynes, and this is the Marketplace Excellence Caribbean Report for Friday, July 30th, 2021. The MPE Caribbean Report provides updates from around the region. St. Lucia's ruling United Workers' Party suffered a landslide loss at the polls on Monday, capturing just 2 of the 17 seats in the general election. The result returned leadership of the country to the St. Lucia Labour Party, led by newly minted Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre. Outgoing Prime Minister Alan Chastanet thanked UWP supporters for standing with the party over the last 5 years. He said, "If there's one thing that remains true as you look around our island, is the work of the UWP is present in both our country's physical development and the development of our people." The St. Lucia Labour Party captured 13 seats, while former Prime Minister Stephenson King and UWP stalwart along with Richard Frederick won the remaining seats as independents. American Airlines has announced twice weekly flights from Miami to Dominica and Anguilla starting in December. Anguilla Tourist Board Chairman Kenroy Herbert described the new flights to the British Overseas Territory as a game changer for the tourism industry.
The introduction of direct flights from the U.S. mainland into Anguilla is a goal we have been working on towards since we first embarked on the development of Anguilla tourism industry. Access is a critical factor for any destination, and American Airlines has the equipment and the route network to help us significantly expand access into our island. The Miami Gateway provides excellent connectivity from not only the US but also Canada, the United Kingdom, and Europe. This is a tremendous vote of confidence in our destination and comes at a time when we were poised to take Anguilla's tourism to the next level. The new service will have a first and business class, which is essential for the growth of our business and incentive tourism segments.
A seasoned Caribbean business consultant, Dr. Basil Springer, is calling on Caribbean leaders to partner with the United States Virgin Islands to help catapult socio-economic development in the post-pandemic recovery period. Dr. Springer believes that CARICOM countries can gain much from the territory's ties to Washington, D.C.
CARICOM is physically and economically vulnerable due to the vagaries of climate change and the COVID-19 pandemic. Its survival depends on the generosity of the international community and CARICOM's ingenuity to pivot its businesses. Persons born in the U.S. Virgin Islands territory share ethnic Caribbean roots and are an integral part of the Caribbean brand. They are fully secured U.S. citizens. Given the recent stated position of the USVI Governor Albert Bryan Jr. to embrace CARICOM leaders in their mutual interests, I propose that the time is ripe to convene a CARICOM USVI Smart Partnership Summit with the theme, "How can USVI energize CARICOM? Nothing ventured, nothing gained."
And as the region continues to recover from the ravages of the COVID-19 pandemic, a global development expert wants the Caribbean to place a premium on sustainable development. Lele Lula Ulu is the special advisor to Marketplace Excellence Corporation.
The pandemic has given the Caribbean a unique opportunity to rebuild tourism, making it more sustainable and resilient. Taking simple steps to green destinations by protecting and enhancing cultural and environmental assets is particularly important because of the strong growth in nature and adventure tourism. The resilience and continuing dedication of local people, businesses, and governments to controlling and eradicating disease significantly improves traveler confidence. Staying up to date with rapid technology advances is critical to meet new and different demands. All these actions have to be conveyed to the world, so vibrant communication, promotion, and marketing strategies are integral to rebuilding investor and consumer confidence.
And that's our update for the week. Remember, things change, and the Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association has a comprehensive list of Caribbean countries and territories that are opening their borders, planning to do so soon, or are changing their COVID-19 travel protocols. So if you're planning a trip, visit CaribbeanHotelAndTourism.com/COVID-19 for more details. For this and other editions, find us on YouTube at Marketplace Excellence. Also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. We wish you an enjoyable weekend. Please wash your hands, maintain physical distancing, wear a mask, and stay well. I'm Keyshawn Haynes, and this has been the Marketplace Excellence Caribbean Report.
We now bring you these international reports.
Buses carrying former Afghan interpreters and their families, including 57 children and 15 babies, arrived at the Fort Lee military base in Virginia on Friday morning. This is the first place they'll lay their heads in the U.S., safely away from the Taliban's possible retribution for having worked with Americans now leaving the war in Afghanistan.
He is completely, starting new life here.
Mohammed Nabi Mohammadi is preparing to welcome his cousin, who was on board the flight and will likely spend a week at the base for final immigration processing. Both served as U.S. military translators in Afghanistan. In fact, 5 brothers from the Mohammadi family all signed up for the job. Now 3 are in the U.S., while the 2 youngest remain in hiding in Kabul.
We love to work with the U.S. government and Afghan government. We love our country, so we wanted to serve for the people.
Janice Shinwari says he feels the same. He worked for 9 years as a translator on the front line against the Taliban.
Who's that?
He was granted a special immigrant visa in 2013 and now lives in Virginia.
All of us, we had a U.S. flag on our shoulder, and we were fighting for that soldier, for that flag. And we thought we were American.
Shinwari is credited with saving the life of his assigned U.S. soldier, Army Captain Matt Zeller, during a firefight.
To see those reunions take place makes all of this work worth it.
Now Zeller worries the U.S. will break its promise to save the remaining Afghans who helped U.S. troops.
We're not doing what's necessary to save these people. And every day that we don't do anything is a gift to the Taliban, because it gives them just that much more time to hunt down these people and kill them.
Reports of Taliban killings come daily. This translator in Kabul is afraid to show his face. He says he's been waiting 8 years for an American visa.
I'm scared, but if they don't get me the visa, so I know one day I'll be target of the bad guys in here, maybe in Kabul or somewhere else. So I feel bad now.
At least 10 U.S. evacuation flights a day would be required to get all special immigrant visa applicants out of Afghanistan before the end of August. Those who are fighting to get them out fear that time is not on their side. Heidi Jo Castro, Al Jazeera, Fort Lee, Virginia.
Within moments, a mountain road gives way. Heavy rains have hit the Himalayan region hard, causing flash flooding and landslides, claiming the lives of dozens of people.
I am 58 years old and I've never seen such a severe flood in my life. The floods have caused a lot of destruction. Earlier, we did not even have a bridge. Now it has been constructed. It is washed away by the floods within 7 years.
Roads and bridges swept away in Jammu and Kashmir. Emergency teams have been called to the scene.
The National Disaster Response Force and Indo-Tibetan Border Police are carrying out the rescue operation. 3 people are still missing, and rescuers are looking for them.
Over on the west coast, the country saw more than 58 centimeters of rain in just one day. Residents forced to flee their homes as authorities release water from nearby dams that are at risk of overflowing. The rains are reminiscent of a similar catastrophe that struck the region back in 2005, killing more than 1,000. But residents say the tragedy this year is worse. Gordon Robison, Al Jazeera.
Tensions are high in the village of Pantelo in southern Mexico. Locals say violence linked to drug cartels is worsening. And with no effective police presence, it's given rise to an armed vigilante collective who call themselves El Machete.
There's no security here, no peace, no tranquility. There's only fear, crying and fear, extortion and intimidation. And let's not start with corruption.
This week, government office buildings, businesses, and homes in the area were set on fire. Locals say the arsonists were protesting what they say is a lack of action by the government to address the worsening violence. In recent days, members of El Machete also reportedly kidnapped 21 people who they say belong to criminal organizations operating in Pantelo.
We entered the municipal seat of all the communities and neighborhoods that make up the municipality to bring justice ourselves, to raid the houses of the murderers, of the drug traffickers, not of the people who are innocent.
So-called self-defense collectives are not unique to Chiapas. Worsening violence in many parts of the country has led to the creation of armed self-defense forces in states like Guerrero and Michoacán as well. Experts say the rise of vigilante groups in Mexico is muddying the waters of an already difficult fight between security forces and organized criminal gangs, making it even harder to tell the difference between the good guys and the bad. It's unclear who the leader of El Machete is, but the activities of the armed collective have attracted the attention of top Mexican officials.
For starters, we do not agree with these self-defense groups. Under no circumstances do we accept that groups are being armed and calling themselves self-defense. It's the government's responsibility to guarantee peace, and that's what we are doing.
But indigenous communities throughout Mexico say that's not the case, pointing to successive governments they say have ignored their concerns for generations. Since June of this year, confrontations involving vigilantes have become increasingly common in Chiapas, where the Sinaloa and Jalisco cartels are said to be vying for control of territory, considered prime for drug smuggling and human trafficking. Human rights observers in the region say thousands of people have been internally displaced by localized fighting in recent months. And with no obvious signs of government support, the vigilantes say they are alone in defending them and their livelihoods. Manuel Rapalo, Al Jazeera, Mexico City.
You were listening to the WinFM Headline News on 98.9. Our top stories were St. Kitts and Nevis Weekly COVID-19 Rundown. TDC launches new online store. St. Kitts Olympic Committee congratulates Amaya Clark on her Olympic campaign. Jason Rogers earns a spot in men's 100-meter semifinals. Marketplace Excellence report on events from around the region. Internationally, monsoon rains have triggered more landslides and swept away bridges and roads in northern India. At least 7 people died in a landslide. More than 200 are missing. Thank you for listening.
That was the WinFM Headline News. The Headline News was brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, KDP Enterprises, The Grange, and Carib Brewery.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
We are faced with tough decisions every day, but choosing the right home or motor insurance shouldn't be one. You need fast claim settlement from a company that's been rooted for over 31 years. And don't forget the A Excellent rating by AM Best. Make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Reliable insurance that you can count on. Get a quote today for your home, motor, contents, and liability insurance needs, and make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance. Tomorrow secured. Local agents, Dalil Walwyn & Co. Limited. Telephone 465-2631 or 469-5303 for the Nevis office.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com. or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WIN FM.
People make the world go
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust. To secure your investment, you need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
People make the world go
Welcome back to Inside the News on WIN FM 98.9. It is 12:30 and we are back for the second segment of our program today. This morning was a very good program. Let me say thank you to all of you for your participation, and thank you so much for adding to our program today. We're going to continue with the second half. And we're going to continue where we left off with the discussion about this passport issue. And I am entertaining some calls and to hear from you, members of the public. You know, your position on it. What is your view of it? We have a caller on the line, so we'll take this call.
Good day, Mr. Cornelius.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Yes, I'm fine. Yes. Let me first congratulate you on your questioning at the previous press conference. I think you brought a breath of fresh air to journalism. Before you, we had too much pandering and too much timidity. Right? I found your questions very probing and direct, and the Premier could not evade them or do what he does best, that is, make some flippant or insulting or childish joke to avoid answering the question. So he was forced into an answer and made what I think was a premature assessment of the Hush Puppy scandal. You know, too many people take corruption for granted, whether because of misplaced loyalty, or they are beneficiaries of the corruption, or they have become numbed to corruption and just throw their hands in the air. Too many folks who we thought should know better are prepared to say, oh, it's no big thing, they all do it. Okay? And yet others who used to scream good governance are somehow silent now. I guess they are embarrassed that they've been made fools of, for the new government promised in black and white to usher in a new era of transparency and accountability. Right? These people should really hang their head in shame, right? They should. But they should also speak out, right? Against what I think, most people would say the administration now is one of the most corrupt in the history of St. Kitts and Nevis. Too many scandals, too many unanswered questions, okay? Right? If these people do not speak up, then they are complicit. Right? And it's useless, these people saying, well, they're not directly affected. International organizations have determined that up to 30% of the budgets of corrupt countries are lost through this corruption. That's our money. That's taxpayers' money. And you want to tell me we should just gloss over this? And what is even worse is that the people who are accountable and who should investigate these things are themselves dismissive. The government has 9 members of parliament, and you mean to tell me not even one can say, listen guys, we got to do better than this. We promise better. Instead you have the Prime Minister saying things like, not one of them can hold a candle of correction to himself. I mean, that is outrageous. And in more democratic countries, the Prime Minister would have had to resign for an incriminating statement like that. But not here. We have an integrity commission. We have an integrity commission that ignores these things instead of looking into them. Even the judiciary, when they make their pronouncements on the lack of integrity of their own, whether it's misappropriating funds or whatever it is, they don't follow through with their own sanctions, right? People cannot have confidence in the judiciary if things like this happen. And the bar associations and other professional associations like the medical association sit silent and cowed as their members are ostracized on the altar of politics.
You know, if I may add, caller, you know what the issue is and has been there for a very long time is that, you know, I think it is because we are such a small society and everybody knows everybody and everybody's afraid to offend somebody else. And so you find a situation where even though you are in a position where you should be fair, you should be honest and be a person of integrity, oftentimes you are caught in a very difficult position, and oftentimes you are compromised. And so there is never, fairness and integrity at all times across the board.
Well, the thing is, though, Mr. Cornelius, we use our small size to justify a multiple of sins, and this is one of them. Okay? Yes, that is true, but again, I would point to the fact, you mean out of all the people on the island, you can find at least some who are prepared to call a spade a spade? Huh? Or you mean 100% of us are corrupt? It would be hard to really believe that. The thing is, right, we've had so many investigations, whether it be the R.L. Bradshaw Airport security breach, stem cells, herpes trials, corruption in the roofing program, you name it. And all are swept under the rug or disappear into some black hole somewhere. Too many people are naive about this corruption thing. That's the problem, right? First of all, right, we have to investigate in the first place, right? Corrupt officials don't walk around with T-shirts at the front and the back saying corrupt, okay? they would normally cover, no, they don't. They would normally cover the tracks well and wear suits and ties and make nice-sounding speeches and attend church every Sunday to throw people off guard. They would beat their chest and dare you to bring evidence of any wrongdoing, like what happened in the St. Lucia case, okay, where the people fired him, okay, or says things like you grudge, or even tell you, well, that's politics, all politicians do it, just make sure you get piece of the action, right? And I find that last one particularly obnoxious on this advent of the celebration of emancipation, right? Our own race bribing and stealing from us, We have a new group of cynical, unenlightened politicians leading us, right? And this hush puppy case illustrates that. So instead of Premier Brantley saying that he will ensure that there will be an investigation to determine if the good name of St. Kitts and Nevis or any of its officials were compromised by the revelations here, instead of saying that he will work to get to the bottom of the discrepancy, because there was a discrepancy with the initial announcement by government that this was a case of citizenship by marriage, right? And now it seems like Mr. Brantley is saying, well, this 50,000 US seems to be the normal amount paid for citizenship, if the fees and so on, if you invested what was a bigger amount for whether real estate or whatever the option was to the SIDF, okay? So it appears to be changing tune, and so he is now coming out with this statement in advance, right? I mean, and then being dismissive with his disregard comment. It says a lot about Mr. Brantley and his colleagues as well. For up to now, we realize no official comment has been made by government, and right. That's concerning. Taking them a pretty long
because
time.
It leaves you now to speculate.
Yeah, right. It makes you feel that they're trying to spin this or waiting for more information to come out or see what's going to come out or make sure that they are not fingered. Well, you see, Mr. Cornelius, this St. Lucia electorate made their pronouncement very clear on this corruption thing. They were prepared not to tolerate it any longer, and I just hope that it's just a matter of time before we follow suit, because enough is enough. We can't go on like this. We can't. This is not how a modern democratic state operates. Can't be. Okay. All right then.
Right. Right. Thank you, caller, so much for your contribution. We are still taking calls here on Inside the News. It is 12:41, and let me call to get your to share your opinion. We have a caller on the line. Let's take this call. Caller, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Let me ask a question. You were the youngster who was asking Mark Brantley the question?
Yes, I was the reporter. Yes.
Sir, whenever I see you, you deserve a nice, cold drink. And I hope you continue doing that, not just to Mark Brantley, including the opposition. I need reporters like you. The other thing I want you to do for me, I have a lot of information. I could pass them on to you. That when you go to these press conferences, you need to ask these politicians what they said then and what they mean now. Because they're constantly getting away. I mean, that was disrespectful to Mark Brantley, to you, my youngster. Then these are the same people are calling on your youngsters. Look at the answer. Look at the seriousness of it. He said he don't need it. And you ask a genuine question. You was not disrespectful. They like to talk about people disrespectful. Mark was the most disrespectful person to you. But youngster, continue doing what you're doing. Be brave. Be strong. Be balanced. Because as the caller before said, this was missing in the country. Because as soon as you say something either or, somebody can tell you, oh, you're for your labor or you're against, or you're talking politics. Continue doing what you're doing, youngster. But as I said to you, what I want you to do for me more, get your information. So all of this thing with Mark, I have the writing what he wrote on the wall. When he was talking about the same thing to do with Magadam and the visa, is it going to sweep underneath the rug? These are the things that keep saying things and getting away. So what you guys need to start to do from now, youngster, pile upon your tapes, pile upon your evidence. So when you're going there to them, check in the face, let the camera see. Let the camera read what I said then and to what I'm dealing with today. And I said to you again, partner, I appreciate that you had the courage and the energy to stand up to Mark. And as I said to you, I don't want it to just be Mark. Same go to the opposition people. Because there's people now need to stand up to the politician. Because somebody needs to stand up for the ordinary man. I can't go into the press conference. Because many times I will wrap Mark Brantley over my hand. Including the farmer. Because I always keep stuff for evidence. This is what is killing us. So most of the time, so he tell you, because he figure he didn't have nothing as evidence. But let us continue. Youngsters, again, I said to you, be strong, be honest, be guided, be balanced. You have a lovely day, sir.
Right, thank you, caller, so much for your contribution to this program. We'll take this short break to say thank you to our sponsors, and when we come back, we'll be taking some more calls for you to share your opinion and your view on this matter. Let's take this short break, and we will be right back.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Gift for Dad's birthday? Click. Ooh, Janice's retirement party? Click. Ah, outfit for my girl's wedding? Click.
With TDC Airbox, you click, we ship. Register for your free U.S. mailbox today and shop all your favorite stores online. Enjoy the convenience. Free consolidation up to £10. Competitive rates. Free package tracking account with live notifications. Free delivery and, of course, excellent customer service. Visit our website at tdcairbox.com and register today. For more information, visit our offices at the C.A. Paul Industrial Site in St. Kitts and Penny's Industrial Site in Nevis. Follow us on social media at TDC Airbox. TDC Airbox. You click, we ship. Terms and conditions apply.
People make the world go round.
Welcome back to Inside the News. It is 12:48. The discussion is going quite nice. We are going to keep the phone lines open, and we're going to try to take in as much calls as possible. Call us and share your opinion on the matter. We have a caller on the line, and so we're going to take this call. Caller, good afternoon. You are on the air.
Good afternoon. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon. Caller, you're on the air.
Good afternoon. You hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Oh, okay. Yes, in terms of this passport or citizenship by investment, I am not surprised, okay, because we are going to head in problems and we're going to continually head in problems. Because I always say, number one, it's not our own who are doing these due diligence checks, and once we are not doing that for ourselves, anything gonna fall to the cracks. Now, I know that this topic was a heated issue under the former administration, and a lot of us knew that there will be a disproportionate demography in time to come. And many questions were asked about that. Many concerns were raised about that. We even went back to the chief Tegramanti and what happened when it is said that the Europeans came, right? But anyways, what I'm getting at, one of the things that we kept asking is how many of these citizens are out there? And up to today, we cannot get a figure or a definite figure. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I was looking at something, and I don't know how many persons have come across it. It was out there, so maybe more than I saw it and read it. But they were dealing with the 10 smallest independent countries. And it so happened that this federation was one that was mentioned. And for all of them, they give the brief descriptions, and what included in part of that description was the size of the population. And the person mentioned that the population of this federation is 570,017. Now, somebody might say, well, okay, don't bother themselves with that, because somebody might be out there just saying this and whatsoever. I don't think so. I'm not going to say, well, okay, I believe it out front, but I am saying I'm not tempted to disregard it either. Because the thing about it is, who has really the information besides our politicians? When their own go to them to ask them, they are going to release it. And the population size of any country is nothing information that is private and secret. Okay? That is nothing private and secret. It's just that, for whatever reason, the politicians here are not open. They're not open and transparent with us. But that figure, let's assume that it is that way. Does that include the local indigenous people? Does it include the population of the neighboring island? Does it include those who now coming in saying that they have family here, and whoever father went to wherever to work and now they're coming back? Does this include all of the other in-betweens that come? Because if this is the case, this is a serious thing, It is a serious thing. And I remember under the former administration, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Mark Grantley who made mention of this in Parliament. And I believe a number was given, or maybe the number was given as a question as to how many persons are out there. And I remember when the former Prime Minister says, whatever number you have, multiply that by 3. I remember when this unity got in, the question was asked, the present Prime Minister, and he gave a figure And I found that figure to be very, very low, but he was saying that was the base figure. Nothing was forgiven. If that was the base figure, well, what happened to the additional? And then I realized that we're not going to get any transparency for what we were looking right there, and then I knew something was wrong. And again, we were told that this program, because of what happened with Canada and this, what they call it there, whatever thing you need to get into Canada, forget that. Whatever will happen to that, we were told that this program will be revamped and it will be phased out. It is now 6 years, but the numbers are climbing. And whoever is to get back in, I don't see this program going away because I'm not seeing anything concrete on the ground to move away from tourism and this citizenship as the main source of revenue. So it seems like we're going to continually, forever selling. I'm really sorry for us in the future, especially our younger generation. I'm really, really sorry for us because we're going to get more than just what some people refer to as undesirable characters. We're going to get more. We're going to get more than that. I'm really sorry for our younger generation, you know. Sometimes when I have to think about it, it makes me sad, but I don't know. I guess the people like it like that, but 570,017. I'll continue to listen.
Right, caller, thank you so much for your contribution. Sound words. We're still taking calls here on 1FM 98.9. We want to hear from you. We want to hear from you, members of the public. Tell us what is on your mind with regard to this matter. We have a call on the line. We'll take this call. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon. It's me again. Now, I'm going to clear up the issue that was asked of me. And I also believe the same thing should also go to people who are born here and who have none of their parents as citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis. When it comes to getting passports, I believe we should go for those people as well. Now, how would one determine if a person is a true and sincere Christian as the standard for getting a passport? Well, we cannot obviously read people's minds, but at the same time, Christianity is not a no man's land where any and everything goes, which a lot of people seem to believe. There are rules to Christianity, and there are marks and characteristics to Christianity. For example, some of them are if you reject the Trinity, if you reject that Jesus Christ had two natures, both God and man, if you reject that the Bible as originally written was inspired by God, perfectly inspired by God, that it is without error, it is without fault. If you reject these, if you reject the Trinity, if you reject that we are saved by grace alone, through faith alone, according to the word of God alone, in Jesus Christ alone, if you reject these things, if you reject the future bodily second coming of Jesus Christ and the future judgment, and if you reject heaven and hell and the virgin birth of Jesus Christ, and these are the essential doctrines of the Christian faith, you are not to be held to be a Christian. And even if you profess to be a Christian, also, if you say you accept these beliefs, but you are living a life of sin, that also should disqualify you from being accepted as a Christian as well. So just merely believing these things is not enough. You also have to be living the Christian life as well for not to be rejected as a Christian. And this is how the church has been doing it for 2,000 years. The church that has been sticking to the teachings of the Bible. Of course, those that compromise and reject the teaching of the Bible, they are different. But churches that have took their stand upon the Bible, the history of church for 2,000 years, this is how it goes. So Christianity is not a no man's land, and once you have these characteristics about you, once you meet these qualifications, the church always accepts such people to be sincere Christians until they prove otherwise. So this has been the history of the Christian church. And this is what I wanted to say. Also, I would like to say quickly as well, up to last night and yesterday and that sort of stuff, what I've been hearing is that people who have taken the COVID vaccines, what they're now finding is that it is actually making the COVID virus in such people to be at least the same, if not worse, than people who haven't taken the vaccine. That is these things. I've been hearing these things by reputable people such as Dr. Robert Malone, the man who invented the RNA technology that is now being used to make these vaccines and that sort of stuff. So there are a lot of stuff that are coming out now that are very sad to hear and that people should know about. Thank you. Thank you.
Right, thank you, caller, so much for your contribution. We'll take a break at this time to say thank you to our sponsors, and when we come back, we will continue this program. Let's take a short break, and we will be right back.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Buying your medication is easy with City Drugstore's curbside pickup. WhatsApp our certified pharmacist at 662-8769 with your requests. For prescriptions, take a clear photograph and send for review. We will engage you in dialogue and then provide a quotation and link for payment. You can then pay via TDC's online payment portal. And once the transaction is complete, you'll be notified that your pickup is ready. Yes, it's that easy. Send your WhatsApp message to 662-8769 to order your medications today with City Drugstore's curbside pickup service.
People make the world go
Welcome back to Inside the News on 1FM 98.9. We have a caller on the line. Let's take this call. Caller, you are live.
Good afternoon, Devon. Good afternoon. Hello.
Yes, hello, good afternoon. You're live on the air.
Yeah, thanks for waking up. Devon, you have to be careful with callers. You know who is speaking. Persons have a 2-hour, Mr. Brantley have a 2-hour talk show that persons can call in and ask question. As a journalist, you choose your question objectively and, you know, get your facts straight. I don't want you to get sued for anybody, especially if they are almost pensionable. And then maybe I'm wrong, but I think the citizenship of a country is different to the population. The population is the resident on the island at that time. So now our population is 570-something persons. Citizenship, you belong to the country, but residents are who are there at the particular time, who reside there. Okay, thank you.
Right, thank you so much, caller, for your contribution. If you're referring to the press conference, my question was simply to gain clarification on the matter as it was raised in the public domain, and I raised it to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, who I think would have the information in that regard. And so the research was done. I understand that this is a matter that is not just in local and regional news, but as well, you know, in international news. And so That is why my question was posed, because you find that the information was out there in international news, but you heard nothing about it locally. And so that is why I posed my question. We have another caller on the line. Let's take this call. Okay, we seem to have lost that caller. Do we have any more callers on the line? We have a caller on the line. We're going to take this caller. Caller, good afternoon. You are on the air. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air. We lost that call. I'm so sorry. We have a caller. Let's take this call. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Devon.
Hi, good afternoon, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, it's nice being back. And I enjoyed listening, I tried to turn off a radio, to some of the presentations. Now, I listened to a few. You know, I don't really respond to what does not need a response. And this personal thing, they say, when people cannot answer, they get personal, so I just ignore that one. Now, the issue of this person brought up, Mr. McMahon, because he knows me and I know his voice, and I would suggest to him, unless he wants to start a circular argument, he must avoid certain statements. Because what you're going to have is one set of corruption pit against another corruption, and to us to say, well, these here said they will do it. So if somebody did not say they will do it, it was eligible? Because this is the argument people using. Oh, well, these said they're going to have integrity. So because the others did not say it, they were not bound to do it?
That's a good point.
That's a poor argument. And he all he's doing is raising antness and deciding which one is more corrupt than the other. Then according to English, both of them corrupt. When you go to more than, then the first have to be corrupt. And don't tell me 20 years of corruption is less than 6 years of corruption that he assumed. It don't make so. And he should know that.
But remember, caller, whether it is 20 plus versus 6, corruption is corruption.
That's my point. That is just my point. So when you come and say, oh, well, these are more than, you come to accept some and reject some. Now, let me get back to the passport. We have a lot of sham marriages going on around here, where the marriages are never consummated. You know what I mean by consummated, right?
Yes.
There has never been any sexual intercourse between the partners. Are these marriages...
They just can't even get married.
Yeah, and they have certificates. Are those certificates valid?
But caller, I'm glad you posed that question, because I remember some time ago, I forgot who the official was, but there was somebody from the government saying that they're going to be, clamping down on these sham marriages, right? And so, therefore, there needs to be a check in the security system on the government's behalf, in terms of, how to quickly identify, well, you can't really identify a sham marriage, but let me say identify forged marriage certificates.
Yeah, because to me, both of them end up the same way. You're going to tell me, it is now a practice among some Kittitian and Nevisian women. Let me say Kittitian, because I don't know Nevis people. They marry, go to the courthouse, and then you get your money, you go your way, you come your way. According to law, those are not legal marriages, And then they apply for citizenship, get the passport, and then they institute a divorce after they get it. We should be concerned about everything. And so this matter, Mr. Brantley is not responsible for the issuing of passport. It is the...
No. I don't think anybody was saying he's responsible.
You said you
for it.
asked him because you expect him to know.
Oh, right.
I don't think he may know, because remember that even the citizenship by investment, they go to the passport office, to the Prime Minister's office. I don't know if he leaves if Mr. Brantley...
No, Mrs. Henry, I disagree. Whether he knows or not, he's the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and these are matters that he should be briefed on. So I'm not going to ask a question whether I think the individual knows the responsibility. Hold on. As a public official who holds such an office, you have to prepare yourself for these questions. So I'm not going to ask a question based on whether you know it or not. I'm asking a question to a public official who holds the portfolio related to the issue.
No.
Yes.
No. Check out. This citizenship by investment is not under Foreign Affairs. It's under the Ministry of Finance.
Where is the hold on. Where is the individual, the hush puppy guy? Do you know where he is?
Never heard about him until I heard his name.
Okay, so I understand that he's not in St. Kitts and Nevis, right? But he has a St. Kitts and Nevis passport. Right? So I understand that the CBI falls under finance. Right. Under the Prime Minister's responsibilities. But there is some shared responsibility when it comes to foreign affairs.
You mean in case the person need to get assistance as a citizen? Isn't that so?
Let us get straight to the point. What are you saying?
The Prime Minister, let me say it again, the best person to put that question to is the Prime Minister.
Okay, so the question should not have been posed to the Premier.
If you ask the wrong person the question, you get the wrong answer. You understand?
Okay.
And this playing of politics with it. It's a serious matter. I agree with you. It should be investigated. But this lot of jumping up by the Labour Party people, they are the last one. They should go to the back of the end of the line. How many cases of fraud involving that same thing? I am sure you might have heard, you may not know because you're young. Just before the last election, the U.S. government dared them to issue anymore because of what was the lax thing. And I've heard the Prime Minister, the present one, read out incidents where the SIDF people had rejected some people who had applied, and the Prime Minister went behind the back and signed and agreed.
You see, Carla, you know,
you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, right? But it is the argument that I'm seeing now, and that has been going on for a very long time, is who is more corrupt.
By whom?
It is more. It is about who is more corrupt and who did the most bad. I'm not here to compare and contrast. I'm not here to.
People have this.
Hold on. I'm not here to compare and contrast and say who was more corrupt
and
who is the most sorry.
That was a statement made to you.
Could you repeat that?
I said that was a statement made to you. That these in 6 years have been, I mean, really? We're not having a corrupt competition. Corruption is bad whether the last one, this one, or one to come. This is where we need to stand. But we have a way, assuming everybody in this country have amnesia. So when something come up, you hear some self-righteous people making statements that are, I mean, I don't even know what to call it. And by the way, for Greg, now what Greg said may sound good, but he should know in some Arab countries, this is what happened, and Christians who live there are persecuted what you don't like for somebody, you can't like for yourself. And if they give up the Muslim faith, so he's actually condoning it, because he's asking us to do it. You know what I mean? And the Bible said, by their fruits, you know them. Mango don't be a gooseberry. So if you want to know who is Christian, like, oh, Miss Henry, I'm an intelligent woman. I am quite aware of what goes on by job and experience. So this lame excuse about, oh, Miss Henry ain't a Christian. Darling, I've been a Christian 60 years. 60. I don't allow people to twist my mind. I know who corrupt and who ain't corrupt.
Carla, thank you so much for your contribution.
I say it again. Don't allow anybody to manipulate you.
Carla, thank you so much for your contribution. Nobody is manipulating me. You keep saying that. You need to stop saying it because that is not happening. Nobody is manipulating me. You come here, other callers come here, and you push your agenda, they push their agenda, and I allow both of you to come here and share your views and opinions, and I respect it. Whether it is in support of the Labour Party or the PAM Party or the PLP Party, it doesn't really matter to me. The fact remains, you come here, as long as you are respectful, I entertain you and I listen to you. Because at many times, I would learn from the many callers that would call in. But don't come here and say nobody's manipulating me. Don't say that. Let's take this short break and we'll be right back.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Insurance Company Limited. We care about your investment. Guarantee you peace of mind. The best team in the business. Guarantee you peace of mind. No other company will. Guarantee you peace of mind. Together we'll succeed and guarantee you peace of mind. TDC Insurance Company Limited, where you get more coverage for less. People make the world go
Welcome back to Inside the News. We have a caller on the line. We'll take this call. Caller, good afternoon. You are live. We seem to have lost that caller. Sincere apologies for that. A caller is back. Let's take this call. Caller, good afternoon. You are... Okay, yes, we lost that caller. My apologies for that. A caller is back. Let's take this call. Caller, good afternoon. You are on the air.
Good afternoon again, Mr. Cornelius. You know, it's interesting. Mrs. Henry says, don't introduce circular arguments, and then proceeds to do exactly that by chronicling past wrongdoings by the previous administration. No one was comparing what was done in 20 years or the 15 before that with the 6 years that the last government has gone through, right? What is the goal in bringing up corruption, right? We have to be careful to look out for these fallacious arguments by apologists. You know, what is the goal in bringing up corruption now? Isn't it to end it, regardless of when it started or who is involved in it? It is to end it. And who has the power to introduce the systems to end it now? Isn't it the sitting government?
Mm-hmm.
Those who have gone before can't do it. It's the government that is here now. Right. And so they are the ones who should be held accountable now. Right? And actually, if the current opposition is not supposed to hold the government accountable, then who should? That's what the opposition is there for, to hold the government accountable. To now say, well, you used to do it too. Is that an argument? Really? I mean, how does that move the ball? How does that end the corruption? If you went before a judge, Mr. Cornelius, for stealing, I know that would never ever happen, but if it happened, and you tell the judge, well, other people stole too, what do you think going to happen to you? Exactly. Right? That argument that Mrs. Henry was making makes no sense. You cannot. Wrong is wrong regardless of who do it or when it was done. Okay? You cannot justify current wrongs by past wrongs. Can't happen. And you don't advance into the future if you say, well, they all did it too. We should do it now. And so the status quo will never change. I do not understand that argument at all. Right? I didn't understand. You told Mrs. Henry, that's a good point. I wasn't sure I got the point, to be quite honest. Because basically what she was saying is the others did it too, so they have no right to say that the current government is corrupt. That is not an argument against corruption. That is apologizing, that is making an excuse for the current unsavory status quo to remain the same.
I hear what you're saying.
So, yeah, it makes no sense. It doesn't advance the ball. What it does is leaves us with the bad state of affairs that we're in, going back to when such and such happened. How are you going to compare corruption? Corruption is corruption, regardless of when it happens. Why are you going to try to compare 20 years of corruption with 6 years of corruption? So what you want to tell me? You must endure 14 more years of corruption before anything changes? That is a foolish argument. I don't know where she's coming with that, to be quite honest. Okay, then.
All right. Thank you, caller, so much for your contribution. We're still taking calls here on 1FM 98.9. It's 1:22, and we are winding down very, very, very shortly. We'll see how many more calls we can get in before we wrap up at 1:30. We have a call on the line, so let's take this call. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Yes, good afternoon. Let me try and see how quickly I can go. Number one, marriages don't have to be consummated to make them legal. If there is a certificate, nobody's going to ask them whether they had sex to consummate the relationship. That certificate was given, especially if it was given legally, and that makes that count legal. Second, Mr. Moderator, if I accuse you of stealing, I say that you're a thief. It means that I have knowledge of right and wrong. It knows that it says that I know better and I should do better. But if I go behind your back and I convince your boss to turn you away and take me on because I am not a thief. I will safeguard your thief. They put you out, I go in, and I turn around and I do the same thing that I accuse you of. In my book, that makes me worse than you. Third, in terms of the population, the fact of the matter is, passports or citizenships are sold. And there are persons out there that have citizenship to this country. That's why you see, whenever one is caught and they do whatever investigation or whatsoever, the name of this federation is linked to them as a citizen, if they got it via, that means. All right? Now, in order for us to know the population of a country, there are different sources to get that, but one of the main reasons is to do a census. And of course, the census is going to be done in-house. So if those who are legal, those will be counted, and that is what will go down. But the fact of the matter is, you have citizens born citizens that are outside. They're living outside. The present population count will not include them. I don't think so. I stand to be corrected. There are citizens out there by citizenship from investment. All right? If those choose to come to the Federation, then the next census will include them. So at some point, you can see a jump from 50-something thousand to over 500, well, let me put it this way, possibly over 570,017. So don't let us get distracted with this thing about residency. Residency is one thing, yes, but population includes everybody who has citizenship here. Whether you're born, you got it, by whatever other means, it includes it, because if they decide to come back, they will be included in the population at some point. And what I'm saying, those out there know what is happening, because it's their people who are dealing with this due diligence, and anytime they want information, they are not going to hold it from their own. Our own keeps it away from us. But that information is out there, and whenever they need it to use, they will use it. The population, my dear, is not only about residents. That is one of it. But if you have to take the whole, you have to think about everybody else who is outside, wherever they are, because everybody can come back, and the next census will reflect them. Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Right, thank you, caller, so much for your contribution. We're not going to take any more calls at this time. We're going to close the phone lines, and I'm going to begin wrapping up. Firstly, let me say thank you to all of you for your contribution to this program. I greatly appreciate it, as it is not just an opportunity for me to learn from you and to hear your side of the story. It is also an opportunity for the other listeners to engage in the public discourse, and for other people to know what is happening in and around St. Kitts and Nevis. You know, as I've said before, I entertain you regardless of your political affiliation, because all of us would have our political affiliation or political preference, and that is fine. And so whether you are in support of the government or the opposition, you are allowed to call in on this program. You are allowed to share your views and your opinions. At times, I would not necessarily agree with what some of the callers would say. I may not necessarily agree. Of course, there will be other people that may not necessarily agree. But as long as you are respectful, I would entertain you. And if I know for a fact that you made a mistake, if I know that you made a mistake, then I will seek to correct you. But I want to make it very clear, very, very, very clear, that I'm not here to push the agenda of anybody at all. I'm not here to push the agenda of anybody at all, whether it be the government or the opposition. I am here to facilitate a forum for public discourse and for members of the public to share their views and their opinions on matters of the day, things that are affecting the people of St. Christopher and Nevis. And so whether you are in support of the opposition, the government, or you are independent, I hear you, I listen to you, because I want to learn from you. And you may learn one or two things from me. That is how this works. And so as long as you can remain respectful, of course I'm going to entertain you. I admit I am young, so I'm still in the learning process. And most of my callers are more seasoned, more older persons. And so it is always a learning experience for me. But never question my intelligence because of my age. Never question my intelligence because of my age. Never. It's 1:30 and we're going to wrap up this program. Let me say thank you to all of you for your contribution. And I look forward to it all the time. Very good conversation we had today. And we're hoping that we can have more conversations such as these. I'm not here to push the agenda of anybody. I'm here to ask questions as a responsible journalist. I'm a young journalist, still learning every step of the way, still learning every day, learn something new every day for a matter of fact. But I'm here to ask questions and to report and to provide a balanced report. Sometimes the questions that I ask may not sit well with you. But I'm asking the questions in the public's interest, in the best interest of the public, and what the people of St. Christopher and Nevis should know. Not to make Tom feel good, or to make Jerry feel good, or to make this person feel good. I'm just here to ask questions respectfully and with information to back up my questions. Thank you guys. This has been Inside the News. I've been your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Until next time, stay safe, wear your mask, wash your hands, and give thanks for life. Have a fantastic Saturday and a blessed Sunday, and enjoy your long holiday weekend. Bye-bye.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects